video, we're going to talk about Porch Leads. Porch is a service that is like Angie or Angies.com where they sell leads. People that are looking for quotes on home services or construction jobs, and it's actually construction jobs in this case. And with that, people looking for quotes quickly to get a bunch of quotes. You can actually buy those leads, obviously, and make some money trying to sell to those people that are looking for quotes. Attractive about it is you don't have to go do marketing of your own. You can buy these leads. They're already in market for services in our area. It bypasses the process of, let's say, for instance, having to set up a website and market the website with ads or trying to rank organically on Google, which is difficult and or expensive, or so many people think. I'm going to talk about why it's not and why it's 100 times more worth it to do that than buy leads from Porch. But I'm going to tell you how you can actually use the Porch Leads to make money despite all the negative press that is about Porch on there. 90% of the reviews about Porch out there are negative. And that is for a very good reason, which I'm going to talk about in today's video. But you can actually make money. I'll tell you specifically how you can make money, if you're going to make money, and what these leads are actually good for and how you can use them positively. It's not all just negative what I'm going to cover here in today's video, but if you're not a certain type of business, you can forget about making money with these leads and you should just move on to something else that'll save you a bunch of time and more so money that you could spend on something that's a lot more productive for your business. So with that said, Porch is another lead generator company, like I mentioned, like Angies.com, produces leads by asking people if they would want a quote. Obviously on Porch and these other websites, the idea is that people can go to them because they're a trusted name for a referral. The reality is that's not a needed service anymore. That was something people needed 15 years ago when the internet was more so, in the third inning, if you will, and Google wasn't as trusted anymore. People normally think what's recommended on Google is trusted. If it's ranking on the top of Google, it must be trusted. Similar to that, if that company has good Google reviews, I can trust it enough at least, and I don't need an intermediary third-party company like Angie.com or Porch to, arbitrate whether or not a particular contractor is trusted or not. So they're an outdated model. However, these companies like Porch are good at ranking websites, so that if you're looking for a bathroom remodeler in Dallas, they're good at showing up and then offering to give you multiple quotes, just like Thumbtack, like the rest of them, in order to save you time. And that's the main way to generate a lead, that if you're going to be in the lead selling or flipping game, because that's what people want is a quote. You could, if people were smart and they wanted to actually offer legit value, wedging themselves in between the buyer and the seller, they would offer a buyer's guide. You would download that, and that would really tell you the difference between one vendor and another and how to actually be a good buyer, and then say, okay, and of the stuff you should be looking for, these companies over here offer it. The problem with that is though, fundamentally, the people that are buying leads on these platforms are not the most desired companies in the local area. Do good work. You're eventually going to get enough referrals, and you may just be newer, and that might be the reason why you want these leads. Eventually, you're going to have as much work as you want just through referrals. You're not going to go through a company like that. So a buyer's guide would defeat the purpose of it, if you will. So, but anyway, you're getting people that want to quote. The people that want to quote want cheap. Fundamentally, which is the problem with these leads. Not only that, but because they want cheap and they just want a quote and that's it, a lot of people just put bogus information in there. One thing you'll see, other reviews, other contractors that have bought some of their leads, they can't get a hold of their leads at all, which is why they want to charge back their credit card and so forth. And that is just because people put fake data in there to get a quick quote just to see. It's not even a cheap Charlie, which is the best thing you can hope for. It's somebody who was just checking to see what the prices could be. Total time wasters. Unless you're a cheap, unless you're a cheap or low price seller, you can beat other people on price. You're a one-man show, whatever. Forget buying these leads, because you're not going to win jobs, because the people are mainly looking for low prices if they're serious at all. Now, the leads are cheap, and you can make money on them if you are cheap, and you can beat other people on pricing specifically. And that you can use the jobs to build up a reputation that you could then put on a website saying, I've done these 30 jobs, look at them. And then you can actually move on to the next level of where you actually want to be with your business. The closing rate on the leads, from what I've seen, because I had a client tell me that used these various services, Porch being one of them, that if you answer the phone super quickly, you're able to get on those leads right away, and you have good competitive pricing because you're not a big regional or national player and you can undercut, you can close 5-10% of those leads pretty predictably. And for $50 a lead, it can be still worth it at the end of the day. Yes, there's cost to run out and give quotes and all that, but even that is manageable if you're talking, in a lot of cases. So it can be worth it if you're on the lower end of the price scale, or you're just starting out and you want to get some, work under your belt. It can be worth it in those scenarios and those situations. And the reason why you don't, if you are somebody that's not just starting out or not totally desperate for business, you don't want Porch Leads, is because you don't go through a system like Porch if you're looking for a $50,000 bathroom remodel. You're going to go try to find the most legit company in the area. Or at least if you want top quality and you're not looking for a $50,000 job, you're also not going to go through a platform like that. A platform to try to see how I can get rock bottom costs if you're going to seriously hire somebody through it. And it's a place for people that are desperate for work. There's a problem with their work, but they can't get referrals, or they don't have any money to advertise legitimately, which, like I said, have some jobs. You reinvest the money that you do get into legit marketing methods, setting up a website, marketing the website. But the people that are short-sighted in their thinking, they want to make money and spend it all, not reinvest into actual marketing that top players in their space all basically do, then you're going to be stuck on that platform, and that's ultimately what's on the platform, what you're dealing with. Because these people that are on the platform are probably smaller guys as well, you're really going to have cheap pricing in order to win any of these bids, if you will. That said, if you can actually beat others on price, you're a one-man band, whatever, okay, and you can answer the phone quickly, then you can make money with Porch Leads. If you're not going to basically fit that mold that I just described to you there, you're basically wasting your time. You're going to actually lose money. And so, because a bunch of the leads are going to be dead leads, that's why you're going to close 5 to 10% of the jobs. And of the real leads you have, unless you're cheap, you're not going to win enough to make it worth your time. And all the gas you're going to have to drive out to give quotes and whatnot, it's not going to be worth your time. You're not going to be able to charge people up front to get them a quote, because on that platform, with all the leads that they're farming those same leads out to, that they're giving you, that they're charging you for, they're willing to come out for free to give a quote, and so you're not going to be able to do that either. Which, by the way, that's the entire reason why you should set up a website. You're never going to have favorable terms if people aren't coming to you and you are constantly going to them. When you're new in business, you go to them and you offer whatever you need to get a reputation. Then you get people coming to you. Then you could charge what you want. You get your good margins. You could charge just to give a quote if you want. And it all was legit. And that's what the top guys get. Where people get stuck is they say, well, I don't have the money to do all that. The people that you see are at the top of your market, but they started 10 years ago and they weren't spending all the profit that they had on stuff that they don't need, if you will. They took the profit that they had and invested half of it back into marketing, and they constantly bolstered their marketing strategy that way. And 10 years later, now they have that really good website that's doing really well for them. And that's how they got there. I see this all the time. I can't afford to spend $50,000 a month on advertising. Well, they started out at $3,000, and then they reinvested money from the money that they were making off the $3,000, doing it right on the $3,000 into a $4,000, and then a $5,000 budget, then 10, and then they walked it up. It's similar to any other successful person. You see them when they're at the top. You didn't see what it took, the trenches they had to go through to get there. Building up a leading marketing strategy in your market, years and years and years and years of building up and recycling money back into it that you've earned. Unless you're starting out with millions to begin with, and obviously that's probably not going to be what most of you guys are watching it are starting with. But if you don't start today, 5-10 years from now, you're going to be regretting it. You're going to be dealing with headache people that want to pay as little as money as possible for the work that needs to be done, by the way, the people that pay as little as possible complain the most. You'll find that out once you start charging more money. And your life's going to basically be hell where it doesn't need to be. And you just simply ate it now, didn't spend all your money now. So 5-10 years from now, you have a lot of money coming in and you have the customers you actually want to deal with. And then on top of it, it all kind of builds on itself because the people that want quality know other rich people who also want quality. And so you can build the foundation of your business on cheap Charlies, or you can build it on quality people who don't complain and spend a lot and just appreciate a good job done. Pick one path or the other. And it really all just comes down to your choice. You start reinvesting. The way that I always explain stuff to people at our advertising agency is you figure out a percentage of your sales that you're going to spend on marketing regardless how busy you are or whatever. For new businesses, it's usually going to be about any kind of contracting space. 20% of your sales revenue should go to advertising and marketing. But if you're going to be serious to 10 years from now having that business where you're considered the top 5 players in the space and you're making millions and millions of dollars, you've got to be able to reinvest a lot of money into the advertising to be able to build it up. And that's just the way that it is. People that say, I only want to spend 7% of my sales revenue on advertising. Well, that's for mature businesses. Once you're already at the top, you can spend 7% and do fine because you got so much word of mouth advertising, all that going on. Well, when you're starting out and nobody knows you, if you aren't investing basically all your profit back into it, you're not going to ever get anywhere. Or it's going to take so long, practically speaking, you're never going to get anywhere. 20% is too much for you to swallow. 15%. But you got to be doing a double the percentages of reinvestment into marketing than somebody who's established is already spending. And you got to do it for a long time. You're going to have to do it for 5-10 years, but after that, it'll be worth it. And you can also sell that business. You can't sell a business with cutthroat pricing and bad reviews, because also, by the way, the people who leave bad reviews, it's also the cheap people. They complain the most, they leave bad reviews, they refer other bad people. If you want to have Porch do your marketing for you, you're going to have all of that stuff be your future. Or you can use the Porch Leads as a way to get to the next stage and then reinvest half your profit you're making on the Porch Leads to get to the next stage. That said, and like I said, unless you're really a way that you figured out how to offer your services cheaper than anybody else, you're probably wasting your time with them to begin with. And me personally, if I was starting out with no money and I'm not the cheapest person and I don't want to offer the cheapest pricing or I can't, instead of using Porch and services like Porch, I'm going to try to get referrals going. I'm going to be bringing a box of donuts every day to the other local vendors that can refer me. I'm going to do that once every week on Wednesdays, and after doing that for a few weeks, I'm going to be asking all the guys out there that do the quoting, please refer, and I'm going to pick 5 or 10 companies to do that too, and I'm just going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and you're going to get referrals. Yes, that still obviously costs money, but we can all come up with $500 a month for a donut budget and do this. Wait for the leads to come in. The problem with referral businesses in the contracting spaces is you can only maintain relationships with so many people. That's the bottleneck. You're never going to be able to get $20 million a year worth of sales coming in off of referrals by itself like that, because you got to build and maintain a relationship with the person giving you the referral. It's good to get going, and then you take the money from the referrals and then you invest that into a really good looking website, not a $500 website, get cheap on it. A $20,000 website that makes you look like $1 million, makes your work look like $1 million. You put all your good quality before and after photos on it, and your average review ratings in all these places, and how long you've been in business, and that you're A+ PPP rated, and you have all these certifications, and on and on and on and on. And then you advertise that website once you've gotten that, and then the rest is history. You're going to make millions upon millions of dollars every year once you get to that level. You start out, if you will, start with the referral business, you build your website, you start advertising that website with $1,000 a month advertising budget, and then you go to 2, then 3, then 5, then 10, and then that's how you eventually just take over the market. You do it just simply starting with that percentage. Okay, I only have enough for $500 a month right now. I'm going to buy the donuts, I'm going to get the referrals. I'm going to, when I get sales coming in, I'm going to take the 20% or 15% reinvestment. Then I'm going to go ahead and once I've got, you can squirrel away that 15% for a while until you built up 20 grand for the really, really nice website. Then you make your website, squirrel away some more, start up with your $1,000 a day month ad budget. One step at a time, you're going to get where you want to go. It's not that hard. It's just most people aren't going to do that because it takes a long time and they want that quick magic pill that just gets them what they want right away, which is why Porch has a business. If there weren't desperate people that were desperate for any kind of work, they wouldn't be able to sell these leads to anybody. Again, you use them, they can serve a purpose in your business initially. That's not a long-term answer to build a really great business. That said, I'll wrap it up with that. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person that leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you want to be able to make millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, like I talked about in this video here today, you should subscribe to this channel, as the information I'm providing you on this channel is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing and strategy to figure out exactly what works and what doesn't work with ads, to give you what you need to get your ads up and going yourself and get results with your ads, actual results. Most of the information you find online is going to be given to you by people who don't really run ads, therefore getting that information from third, fourth hand sources or places to get that information to you, and therefore it's useless. You got to have practical, real world experience running ads to know what works and what doesn't work, because there's so many lies out there about what works, because people just want to sell you ad space that, they don't care if it works or not. So if you're going to subscribe to anybody for that particular purpose, this is the channel you want to subscribe to. Furthermore, I've got a blog, really great blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where on my blog I've actually got step-by-step instructions to actually plug in certain strategies that we use to literally guarantee results for our clients' campaigns at our firm, because we have to do that to get paid, that you could literally bolt on, copy, paste into your own ad accounts on Google, on Facebook, and so forth. That'll get you results. If you like the channel, you're going to like the blog as well. If you're looking for somebody to just hire that can do all this for you, this is exactly what we do for clients that are advertising firm, and we do not charge our clients fees until we get them a rise in profitability of their ads up front, a certain minimum level that we agree on up front. Catches is we got to know we can get great results for you up front before we agree to take you on as a client. But if you want to see if we can work together, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to give you a free assessment and see what the possibilities may be. If you're in a market that we've already done work in, we also sell ad templates. If you're kitchen remodeling, we've already generated leads in that space. For example, if you want to buy just the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates that work to generate leads at a certain cost per lead in that market, about $50 a lead in that market is what we're able to generate leads for. You can buy it from us and then start using it and get the same results for yourself, which is much cheaper than figuring out all the same stuff for yourself. Obvious. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me. I've worked in over 100 niche markets, so the chances are high. We've already got a template that produce leads at the cost you want to produce them at. Or if you were trying to get into a different field like e-commerce, we got templates that sell a product that you can easily sell as well in a market that our client isn't in, and have turnkey results with. Any of those opportunities, if you're interested in them, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about it. But with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.